Do you think that you should be sexually attracted to someone that you are dating? Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode. Another episode? Is that what that is?
Are we an episode? Okay. I think we're doing
Well,
Are we giving daytime TV?
Welcome back to another episode of Girlopedic. It's your home of therapeutic girl talk, and today we are talking about what we talking
Does
about?
attraction matter?
We are talking about if attraction matters.
Does attraction matter?
Yes. Okay, but let me preface this. So we know someone, and we did get the allotment to tell this story. So we know someone who had a guy inquire about her, and the person just felt like, it just wasn't it, right? Like, I'm not attracted to him in any way. But the person kind of felt, I don't know, is bad the word? Do you think bad was the word?
I don't know. Maybe, what's the word I'm looking for?
They were
shallow.
not attracted.
Like, they may have been
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
shallow.
They felt shallow about it because they didn't want to feel like they were rejecting the guy just based off of his physical appearance. But they knew that there was no attraction at the end of the day to this person. Now, it led us to the question, does attraction matter?
Does it matter?
And specifically for, Christian women, because there's a lot of things that come with that, the whole dating experience. So let's get to talking. What y'all think?
I think there's a lot to unpack here.
It's a lot,
right? Because attraction is subjective, obviously, but I think it boils down to what are you attracted to? And I'm just gonna come out and say absolutely. I need to be able to look at you and be like, yes, yes, even if it's like the smallest like millimeter of attraction. Like, there has to be something there, because I do believe the base like attraction can blossom into other attraction once you get to know someone. But if we're not there at any point in time, because I even exactly at a.
But what if it's not hello? What if it's just like a picture that you're seeing of that person? So you really don't even know the personality of that person. You don't know their integrity. Like, you don't know anything about that person other than in the picture. For you, it just wasn't it.
It's hard for me to go off pictures because I've seen several men in person that the pictures are just not doing justice at all. So, like, I'll give each person an opportunity to give me, their in-person setup. However, again, if we're not working with anything for me, because again, just because one person is not attracted to someone doesn't mean they are to someone else.
Right.
But if you're not working for me, I don't know how we can proceed without me thinking like, oh, like, I really like this about him, but I don't know how this is gonna work over here.
And let's just say, let's also throw out, in this scenario or with this particular person, they did just see a picture. So they didn't get a chance to meet the person. It's just off picture. I don't find this person attractive. So is that shallow? First of all, y'all answer that question in the comments.
Yeah.
Is
Is
it
it shallow? Or do you just like what you like?
We can run back and tell it. No.
Because we said no.
We didn't think it. That's true. We didn't think it was shallow because, again, as B was saying, you have to be able to look at that person, and sometimes pictures don't do people justice at all. But if you say that, from the picture, it's not even anything that I would like to inquire, then if you don't want to inquire further about it, then you just don't want to inquire further about it.
You just don't. It's just no, thank you, and that's okay. I think the same thing though can go on the flip side. Like, you can find someone so attractive, then you get to know them, and then they just all of a sudden be looking ugly because it's like, ugh, I wasn't feeling what you were bringing out. That personality was trash. The way you think is trash, and I've experienced that too, where you're just not attractive no more. So I think that it could definitely go both ways, but the initial attraction that's what's gonna get you into someone. I'd be really interested. Hey, Brooke. Hey, girl. We have a special guest.
Oh my
We have a special guest. Like, for if there's women out there who didn't necessarily find their spouse attractive per se when they first met them, or their significant other, and then eventually down the line they became attracted to them. But I still feel like even if that's the case, you had to have some type of something to even think about taking it there. Like, the personality could have been 100 and the looks could have been a 1, but that 1 was enough to get you, you know.
Yeah.
I've known someone that has happened to, where they weren't attracted to the person initially at all. Child,
It's okay, baby. It's okay.
She gonna ever do this.
they weren't attracted to the person at all. But then they got to, now this was a picture, they weren't even in a place where they could see each other, like, I guess initially. But she got to know him, and she was just like, now she thinks he's the finest thing in the world.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the person, because sometimes to some people looks don't matter, like at all. It's like, I know you, you know. But then I personally, I'm not saying that's everything, but I would like whoever it is there needs to be some type of attraction for me. At least. Even if it's not, because I feel like sometimes as women we have this, you know, what we want.
Absolutely.
Even if it's not that, but there's something physically that I like about you that I think is attractive, even if it's not, you know, whatever. That's different than just absolutely nothing there for me at all. But that's just me. But there are other people where it's not like that. But the same, to your point earlier, you could have someone who is super attractive, and then when you get to know them, the personality is just like, you're very ugly.
So that means attraction is not everything.
Yeah, it's not everything.
You know what they say, looks are not everything. That is absolutely true.
That's absolutely true.
But it is a starting point.
That's true, because when you know someone, and I guess that's why we kind of approached it as we didn't think it was shallow, because you meet somebody, it is the physical attraction that you're going by in the first place.
Because that's what possibly made that person interested in this individual.
Right.
That physical attraction, because they don't know each other.
I don't know you from anything, so it's like we haven't had a conversation. So of course I don't think you are intellectual or something. I don't know you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then and this is speaking from like what ifs, but I feel like it opens the door. Like, let's say you quote unquote settled on someone you weren't necessarily attracted to because they had everything else, right? Are we gonna be thinking about other people while we're with my man, or woman? You know what I mean? Like, are we attracted to other people? But like, there's a lot of conflict there. Like, to have absolutely none. I'd be curious to hear other people's stories if that's something that they did, and see how that is going for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you think that, so you got physical attraction, right? So I think we can end that by saying everyone's different, of course. Everyone has a specific, like a different type, I guess, that they're interested in. Although it's not everything, it does mean something, because you want to be able to look at this person. Now, not only do you want to be able to look at this person, but say you're considering, say you consider marrying this person and all these other things, right? In order to be sexually attracted to somebody, don't you have to be physically attracted to them first? Like, you have to think, okay, but do you think that you should be sexually attracted to someone that you are dating?
Yes.
If we plan to
Are we getting married? Are we? Yeah, absolutely. Because here's the thing. Again, if my spouse or vice versa is not sexually attracted to me, how can I be secure within my marriage that, one, you want to have kids with me, and two, when we go do that thing, you ain't thinking about somebody else.
You ain't thinking about Susan.
Okay? Or the neighbor Linda.
Listen.
And then that's going to turn into, oh, well, let me go
Listen,
ahead and
Linda's a baddie. No,
you feel me? Linda has the boxes checked.
Okay.
What's that from Friday? Miss Parker.
Miss Parker. Okay.
Yeah, that's her last name. Linda.
I'm not about to be playing around with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to be attracted to me physically, mentally,
Oh,
sexually.
is physical attraction sexual attraction?
No, because
I
here's
don't
the
think it starts
thing.
that way.
You can think someone is handsome
and not
when not want to with them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm gonna need both over here in this.
yeah,
in this
especially
marriage.
if we're heading toward marriage.
Exactly.
Because honey, like I want you to touch me.
I need you to be like-
I want to be like cuddled up.
Exactly.
And if you're not, if there's something there, it's just like.
So it starts.
And we
that
preface
basis.
by saying also with that we all believe in like waiting
Absolutely.
celibacy
Mhm.
before before marriage
Exactly.
or when dating whatever it is.
Yeah, but
So-
I think there needs to be something there for sure. Because we are supposed to create.
Mhm.
Eventually, once we're married, we're supposed to be having kids, or we want to have kids. How we gonna have them?
How we gonna have them if you like?
Or even if it's not kids, you just want to be.
You just want to have a good time.
Like,
Am I wrong?
come on. Come on. No, but really.
No, seriously. So I definitely think that eventually, once you're physically attracted to somebody and you get to know that person, like you
Exactly.
you want, it's like, oh, when we get married,
It's going
Yeah,
down.
okay.
yeah, you
It's
know.
going
But
down.
it's not like you see somebody who's handsome. It's like, oh, I need to get to the bed.
Exactly. No.
No, you.
It's like a cake. There's layers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's layers to it. It's
Yeah.
like leading up to that day. It's like, okay, I need to build that attraction.
Yeah,
So when that day comes,
we gonna have a good
we're
day.
here.
We gonna have a good day, night. I mean,
You
just gonna have a good time.
understand?
We'll have a good laugh.
A good
year.
life.
Yeah, I feel like it's important. And I think sometimes I feel like as Christians, because there's this, you should just love and accept. And it's like some things I feel like God knows. I know for a fact my daughter she needs something. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's certain things you don't necessarily have to compromise. It may not be that they are who you thought it would be attracted, in every area, but it gotta be something.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good segue into what it probably truly means to be shallow then. Because you can be shallow if you have this laundry list of stuff and this may be your husband or your wife. They don't check off all the boxes, or I don't like him because he doesn't have an earring in his left ear, kind of thing. Or you know what, like just little. That's when we start like waddling into the shallow territory, because it's like no one is perfect. No one is going to be that on paper person that you thought like physically, that you want. I'm gonna need you to get a little deeper. I want your list to have more traits on there that are going to be fruitful in your marriage. Not necessarily he has a long hair, thick eyebrow. You know what I mean? Like just little stuff like that. I think that's when we start to get into shallow territory. But it's not shallow to not want to pursue something with someone because you're not physically attracted to them.
Okay, what is shallow though? As far as, do you think shallow is if a woman says like he needs to make this amount of money?
It can be.
Or do you think it's like, because to me, I've always perceived shallow as like unwavering kind of. Like you have a lot of surface level desires or wants, and then too with those desires or wants that you have, it's like you're unwavering with them, right?
Yeah,
and so
very matter of fact,
there's no
compromise.
Come on,
there's no compromise. And when I say that, we're not talking about like something that's extreme. Like you should want what you want, but what I'm saying is, if God is sending you somebody,
exactly,
and say the package even just looks a little different. We've talked about this before, but the package looks a little different than maybe you would have wrapped it. Do you think that is shallow if you're like overlooking this person? You know what I'm saying? Or do you believe that God is going to give you 100% what you want and what you request.
He may give 95.
Because some of what we want is not what we need.
Exactly.
So I don't necessarily think that.
But I mean, favor's different. Like, but I don't 100% no.
Yeah.
95 possibly.
I think for me, and I'm just speaking for Deija. I think for Deija, it may not be cool. Like, oh Lord, he done knocked me off my feet. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be that, but I know for sure. I believe it's gonna be someone who even if it's just a slight attraction. Because for me, I'm the type of person, if I even think, okay, like, he's a nice looking guy. Once I get to know you, it's either going to build on that or it's going to go to a whole nother level. And so for me, it don't have to be just the most handsome person I've ever seen. But I believe it'll be somebody who I'll at least be like, oh, I want to engage with this person, have conversation, get to know him.
But I feel like that's where the meat is, though. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking, because God is median, I could easily see him giving any woman or man, exceeding our expectations, because that's what he does.
Yeah.
Because I've seen situations like that before, where he's like, we're head over heels for this one. We think this is the one. Then years, months, a day later, he brings us this one. It's just like,
okay, but what if that one who exceeds your expectations is not
a looker
packaged the way that you thought they would be packaged? What if it's the meat and potatoes of that person that exceeds your expectation versus just
as far as looks? As far as looks,
what if it's just what's inside that person that's just like, Lord Jesus? Like,
there has to be something on the outside.
Then we said no. He's not gonna do that. He's not.
I'm okay with.
He's just not.
Your cup of tea,
your type of type, or what
he
you
wouldn't be what you would usually go for.
Yeah. I'm bring him,
bring
him, Lord.
Because here's the thing: if I know it's from him, I believe that. Okay,
but how do you get to that point to where you know?
But that's what I'm saying. There has to be some level of you not too bad on that.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm
gonna give us no bucket.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk to you. We gonna have conversation.
He gonna give us a bucket with a little water in it.
And then as you get to know the person, it's like, oh yeah, you from God.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But there has to be. If there's absolutely nothing,
we're not.
Yeah.
Because we're not compatible at that point.
Yeah.
You know, and there is no way in the world that I can get off work every day and be looking forward to go home to someone that I'm not physically attracted to. That's just not. We're roommates at that point.
So they say the looks of a person may change, right? So it's like, what if? And I think we've touched on this, but so I guess what you guys are saying is, even if there has to be a little bit of something,
just
and if there's a little bit of something, and who you are as a person is just absolutely amazing, then that is what. So it's not just I'm keeping it here. It's like I'm just allowing this to continue to build.
Yeah,
yes, because I've experienced that. And it wasn't necessarily like they weren't attractive. It's just it wasn't necessarily something that I would have found attractive because I thought this was my type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to know this person. They obviously became attractive, and I'm like, huh. Well, I didn't know this, and this. Okay, I can get behind this.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily that I didn't think that they were attractive. They just weren't my type. But really, they weren't my type. I just didn't know it. So really, like, that's why I kind of, as I've gotten older, gotten away from my type thing, because child, you don't know who gonna be knocking at the door. Okay, I'm open to anything at this point. Cause almost anything. Look, hold on.
She open to certain things.
Don't
She not open.
Don't look.
Back up, devil. Okay.
She mean it.
I ain't mean it like that.
Good.
But if you're fruitful, okay, that's what we mean here.
What do we say last? Boaz.
Okay, if we Boaz and we good. But I think too, like, you just being shallow and being bang are like cousins. You know what I mean? So we just have to watch that in context of our laundry list, right? Or having such high expectations about someone's looks or what they're supposed to look like. But that we're not negating being attracted to someone. We're not negating that at all.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing here.
I think it's important, but it's not the most important.
Exactly.
Physical attraction.
It'll get me to the table.
Exactly.
But if I'm gonna stay, there needs to be a lot more than that. Because like you said, looks change.
Mm-hmm.
You might not look like that in 10 years. And then if I was in this relationship because I, thought you was cute 10 years, I'm gonna be mad.
Exactly.
Because you done put on 20 pounds, 35, 67.
And you ain't trying to do nothing about it.
Yeah, and it's like, so there has to be more that's gonna keep you.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Absolutely.
may get it started, but over time, things develop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't think it's the most important, but it is important. And I feel like because I have this expectation or I want this individual to at least look nice, I want to look nice myself too. Because I don't want you to just be looking at, just anything.
We have to hold ourselves to that same standard.
Yeah.
Because you want to look good for your spouse just as you want your spouse to look good for you. It's a two-way street, honey.
Yeah.
We can't be slacking over here and bae looking good over there. Like, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
We need to be up and up. You know what I mean? That's a good point. Which I think.
Yeah, which I think, because I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
Drop in the comments and let us know if you think physical attraction is important. Let us know if you think sexual attraction is important as a Christian. Because it is a taboo subject, but it is important. You're going to and you don't want it to be dutiful. You want to be able to enjoy that person.
Yeah.
And that's all, to me, wrapped up in being physically attracted.
That's what he made it for.
Because it'll go back into it at some point. Like, all these other attributes will then go into your physical attraction.
Yeah, it amplifies it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now you like the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start off, you was just like the burst. You know what I'm saying? But now you're bomb. So let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. We want to talk to y'all and we want to hear y'all's opinions. So anything else, ladies?
That's it.
Nope. That's it. That's all. All right. Thank y'all. Bye.